Hello, everyone.
Happy Sunday.
Today, we're going to talk about the 7 misconceptions of marriage. We're just going to jump right in because we don't want to take up much of your time. So the first one is everything has to be perfect. I'm not going to lie, I struggle with this one. Like,
yes.
all the time. I am a perfectionist when it comes to certain things, but I have seen where it kind of does, put a strain on our marriage, because Marcus is like, just it'll be okay. And I'm like, no, like do it now. It has to be done like this way.
Right. But I feel like you're two completely different people. So you grew up differently. You have different thoughts, different mindsets on things, or different thoughts on things. So there's gonna be issues. There's gonna be struggles through the marriage. If you're basically, like our pastor said before, if y'all never argue or if y'all never have disagreements, one of y'all jokers is lying. So I think that's a good one. That
do not strive for perfection. Just strive to serve.
Right.
That's the main thing. Strive to serve.
Right.
You want to do the next one?
Yeah, the next one, a lot of people do this. They want to have kids to think that will help their marriage. That's not going to help, because ultimately they're going to grow up and they're going to leave. Then what you going to do?
And not even just that. I mean, like, that just adds more stress
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
So you're already in an unstable environment, and then you bring a whole nother person. And so if your husband isn't getting the attention that he needs to make it, bringing a whole nother person that's going to need, the wife's undivided attention for the most part, like, it's not going to make it that much better, guys.
Right. I agree. The next one is your intimacy will take a hit after marriage. Is that a misconception?
No. But no, I feel like it wraps back into, do you purposely make time for your spouse? Are you constantly dating your spouse? I think we did types of relationships where it's like, do you have a business relationship? Is it what kind of relationship you have?
And are you doing the things you did in the beginning? Because I know a lot of us men, we don't. We're like, oh, we ain't got to do all that. You still have to do those things, because intimacy is more than just sex. Speaking her love language, or just whether you wash the dishes, whether you rub her feet, whatever it may do, that may be interesting to her. You know what I mean? Versus just having flat out sex. So
thoughts. And I feel like that kind of leads into the next one. The next one is marriage doesn't require work. Like, if that is
it's a full-time job, overtime.
And I'm not doing this with you today.
Woo!
We're not doing this today.
Woo!
Seriously.
I'm so sorry.
But I mean, it is. Marcus and I actually attended a class last night, and they equated your marriage to like a flight, like a pilot in a flight. You have to gauge your fuel. Fuel is the number one, the most important thing that you have, and it takes work. You can't just coast. You can't just go on autopilot. It's one of those things your husband didn't come home for the last 3 weeks and he immediately goes to the shower, but you don't notice it until 4 months down the line. You've got to be aware and attentive of what's going on, and make sure that you guys are refueling your marriage constantly.
Right, and just like your job, you don't work at your job for 10 years without no extra studies or extra training. So why is your marriage any different?
Oh.
I mean, I'm just putting that out there.
I like that.
That's pretty good.
You did good.
Your husband's pretty good. The next one is you have to be a unit at all times.
Lies.
And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions, is you always on the same page. Once again, you are two completely different people coming together as one. So you're not always going to see eye to eye, but as long as your hearts are together, and you're chasing after God, then it's going to work its way out. And I think that's really something that we struggle with, is trying to be on the same team at all times, because I like to joke around. and I'm more like a business oriented relationship. And Kayla's like, I'm not your business partner, I'm your wife. I'm not your homegirl, I'm your wife. And I go through that, but it's just certain times it's like we don't see eye to eye on things, or on certain situations. But ultimately, at the end of the day, is
we have the same end goal.
Exactly. But we just may get there two different ways.
And as a wife, I'm learning that it's not always going to be my way. I'm doing the Y'all, it's taking everything inside of me. I have to like push him out the frame right now. But by submitting, like as a wife, as you state your case, because you are a team, your opinion does matter. You state your case, but ultimately your husband will make that final decision. And on the flip side of that too, like as far as like not always going to be a unit, he's not my only friend. And I'm not his only friend. You have to have time outside of each other as well to maintain a healthy relationship.
Right. And the next one is your partner has to make you feel better. And that's something that we struggle with. We struggle with that. And that's how we say, you know, I can't fix Kayla. Like whatever Kayla's going through, I can pray for her on her behalf. But ultimately I can't fix her. I mean, only God can do that. But I need to continue to be in the husband I know God called me to be, so that when it do arises, that I'm in position on where I need to be. You know, I'm saying Kayla's struggling with, say she struggles with insecurities, you know, or she trusts, but I'm always out until like 2:00 in the morning. That's not gonna fix the problem. You know what I mean? If I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm open with her and answering questions, talking to her, and then she's still having an issue, that's when I continue to pray on her behalf and let God fix whatever she's going through.
And you cannot look to your spouse for happiness. Your joy and your happiness needs to be anchored in the Lord, not looking to your spouse to fill that void, because that's they're not perfect and they're not your guys, so they can't do it, so you can just smash that.
Right.
The last one is your spouse will change after marriage. I got the flip coin on that, y'all. Mine actually did, but we were like a very rare case apparently as we tell our story.
But my change was I was chasing God. You know what I mean? So change is good if you're chasing God. You know what I mean? But like,
and it fixes a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah, everything else in this path will kind of correct itself. That's something that, you know, I always wanted to change Kayla's personality. I wanted her to be different. I wanted her, you know, I thought when we got married, you know, things would be different, because even like when we got engaged, like I told y'all before, like it was the best thing in the world. And then when we got married, I was like, dang, this is what marriage is like. Like, man, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And I know like I said before, we talked about divorce within the first 2-3 months of our marriage.
Man.
Because we were still doing me, and it wasn't about we, you know. And that was something that we struggled with, and we didn't want to change. And
neither one of us.
Yeah, but the move down here really helped our change, helped our growth, helped us come together.
And I feel like that kind of feeds back almost into like the same, like you can't make your spouse happy. Like your job is not to change your spouse. Your job is to complement and to help strengthen their weaknesses. Now, are you their God? Same thing. No, but continue to pray for them. And so instead of you saying, "Ooh, God, like he do X, Y, Z, la la la," why don't you pray about, you know, Lord, have him walk in your steps, or continue to make him the man that I know that you have him set up to be. Prayer is powerful, and the words, you have to be very particular about the words that you pray with, ladies. And gentlemen.
Right. I agree.
That's it.
That's all you got?
That's them 7.
That's the 7. The number of completion, right?
Oh, look at that. Sure is. You got anything else?
No, that's all we got. Once again, thank y'all again for tuning in. And this weekend we got the conference. I'm gonna be I guess I can't come. The Women's Luncheon Conference. I think the registration ends
Wednesday.
We extended a couple days, so be sure to register now. Get your seat. It's gonna be a amazing event.
We are almost at capacity, ladies, so it might shut down before Wednesday. Just FYI. So if you haven't got it, get it. Watch the page, because when we hit capacity, we will notate.
That's all we got.
If you guys want a recap of the notes from tonight, www.thestutsons.com. Click the articles tab, and you'll see it. The 7 misconceptions of marriage.
And we out.
We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.